Alright, here for another video. I'm playing Junk Aristocrats.
And I'm playing blue, white, red.
Alright. 11.
11.
Alright, probably not going to beat that. Won't give up hope. Never give up hope. I see a 1 out there. So.
6. All right, I'll play first.
Gave up hope.
Hope given up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is exactly what we want for our starting hand. I will keep this.
Yeah, this hand's fine. I'm going to keep this. Actually, pretty good hand. So.
Yeah. All right. Steam Vents go.
Draw. We're going to go ahead and lead with Overgrown Tomb. And go to 18. And the Youngest of Wolves. Get out there. Your turn.
All right. For our turn 2, since we drew that, we'll go ahead and play our Glacial Fortress and Pillar of Flame this young wolf right out of the game.
All right. He is
Go ahead.
a little bit less young than he was a moment ago.
He's quite old.
So we have a couple options here. We basically can choose between these two cards, and it comes down to like which of these we like basically care more about. I think I'm gonna play this one right here, which is like if he has another pillar, this is like the worst choice, but if he doesn't, then this is like the better choice. So we're gonna shock ourselves again. Go to 16. And I'm gonna play a Voice of Resurgence.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
Yeah, for us, since he did play a Voice of Resurgence, it's best for us to just do this. We want to get that off the board and make sure our instants and sorcery, or our instants can be played on his turn, since that's the majority of our play. So we're going to play a Snapcaster main phase and flashback to Pillar to kill that thing.
All right.
And it's his turn.
Pillar into Snap Pillar is basically like the worst possible, like the worst possible line he can have against this deck for us. So that's a little unfortunate that he had all that. Here we have the option of like playing these, and I think we probably just want to play this just to maximize like our mana output. And I think like this card is generally a little bit better than this card against him anyway. So we'll play barrels.
Right.
Your turn.
All right. Draw. Now this turn, well, so we're the aggressor. I know it doesn't seem like it, but with our hand and him not being able to keep anything in play for the first couple of turns, we want to be attacking this turn. So attack for 2.
Down to 14.
Don't really want to skip drawing or playing a land, so we probably just want to go ahead and think twice on our main phase, which we will.
Okay.
We're going to think twice main phase. Yeah, we'll play a Hollowed Fountain and pay 2.
So you're at 18.
And say go. If we miss the land drop there, we're still in fine shape. I think we need to do that.
So here we have the option of like these two or these two. I think I like playing these two a little bit more, just because it's like basically like maximizes our play for the turn and like just puts a lot more into play. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cast a Blood Artist.
Okay. Blood Artist resolves.
I'm gonna shock myself.
12.
Play Cartel Aristocrats.
Yep. Also resolves.
Okay. I'm gonna then attack for 2 with Varls.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on top of your library.
So we can either let that Azorius Charm resolve, or we can sacrifice Varls so that we get to draw a fresh card. And I don't think Varls is really what we want to be doing right now. So I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and sacrifice him
Okay.
to the Cartel Aristocrat and drain you with Blood Artist.
Right. So 17 to 13.
And it's your turn after that.
Okay. So we got rid of the big threat for us right now by doing that. We're fine. Yeah. Well, we're still the aggressor, so we're fine with him sacking his Blood Artist to give pro color. Getting that off the board can be very important. Our Snapcaster's not doing anything on defense really, because he could just play like a Doom Traveler or a Young Wolf on his turn before he attacks, and then we have no blocks anyways. So it's best to just attack.
All right, I'll go to 11.
This turn, probably going to be doing this, so we're just going to go ahead and stick this into play tapped.
Okay.
And say go.
All right, we will draw. Not exactly what we wanted. Because we have the ability to give Cartel protection from a color, even if he has something like a Restoration Angel, I'm fine here. Still attacking in, so I'm going to attack with Cartel Aristocrat.
Okay. Yeah, we just want to play Restoration Angel here and eat as a Cartel Aristocrat if we get a chance. So we're going to blink out Snapcaster.
Okay,
Or target Snapcaster with Resto Angel.
Yeah, the target resolves.
Okay, blink this out.
Before blocks, we're going to sack Blood Artist to Cartel Aristocrat to drain you.
Sure, so 16 to 12.
Yep, and give protection from blue. And then Tragic Slip the Restoration Angel.
Okay, and there's no Blood Artist, so no trigger.
Yep, and then you'll take 2 down to 14.
That's correct.
And I'll play a Temple Garden, and it's your turn after that.
Alright. So, draw. That was a pretty good draw step for us. It fits perfectly into our curve, so we're just going to attack for 2 and easily pass the turn here.
10. Alright. Draw. I'm going to go ahead and play this Doom Traveler.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and attack.
Alright, well, since you did that, we're going to take 2 here.
And then I'm going to pass the turn.
Flashback, think twice in step.
Sure.
Draw. Cycle this Azurius Charm.
Okay.
Draw a card.
Sure.
Alright. Draw for a turn. We want to play this land since we already can get a value out of it. And we don't really want to attack our Snapcaster and let him eat it, or eat it with Doom Traveler. But I don't think anything's better is going to happen, so might as well attack for 2.
Alright, I'll block.
Alright, so block there. He gets a token.
Yep, I'll go to Spirit.
And then we just go ahead and Supreme Verdict everything away.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. And that's our turn.
Alright, so we... Oh, that was pretty much what I was hoping to draw, so... Gonna go ahead and cast Lingering Souls.
That's a perfect draw.
And...
Only thing scary would have been Soren.
True, yeah. So now we have the option of like whether or not to flash it back, and he might have like another Supreme Verdict, or he might have like a Snapcaster for the Supreme Verdict, but at the same time, like 2 spirits isn't really going to get the job done by itself, so I'm going to play this land in case he has like Syncopate, and then flashback Lingering Souls.
Sure.
And it's your turn after that.
Yeah. Land go for us. That's all we're doing this turn.
Alright, so he has Moorland Haunt, so he's able to start trading with some of our spirits, but he might also have like another Restoration Angel. But at the same time, like we're not getting anywhere by just sitting back, so we'll send in for 4 here.
Okay. We take this damage.
Alright, so you go to 8.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to play a Skurstek High Priest.
Yeah, we're going to Supreme Verdict, or Sphinx of Revelation for 4.
To 12.
To 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, yep. This game should be locked up now, because we can just play our Supreme Verdict that we just drew.
Yep, that's going to be pretty...
And then play a Boros Reckoner and finish him off with that in a couple turns. Go ahead.
Boom.
Big Daddy Doom Traveler. Draw. Player land, attack for 3.
7.
Go ahead. And now we'll just go ahead and represent lethal in the next turn.
Let's see. Alright, we're going to cast Varls.
No, we're just going to dissipate that, so there's no...
Alright. I don't think blocking Boros Reckoner... Like, I think we're still at a high enough life total that we can not block the Boros Reckoner and hope to draw into something, so... I'll just attack for 1 here rather than block.
I think our best line is make sure he has no draw steps, so Snapcaster, Azaria's turn to put it on top.
Alright, yeah, that's probably going to be...
Yeah, that should be game. Because I can just easily... Oh, well, Thundermaw.
Okay, yep, we're dead. Alright, so that was kind of a brutal game. We had a really good opening hand, but he had, like, basically an even better one with, like, the Pillar, Snap Pillar, and 2 Supreme Verdicts. So, basically just, like, the worst possible for us there, but we'll be back for the second game, also pre-board, and then go from there.
Yep, Pillar, Snap Pillar is exactly what we want in this matchup. Killing his main targets of like Varals and Doom Traveler and Voice of Resurgence. Once we get through those couple of early threats, his late game really doesn't shine as well as ours since we have a big draw spell and he has a Sorin and some Lingering Souls, which we actually have pretty good answers for.
This hand is not like great. Like this card like isn't that good against him. But at the same time, like I don't think I'm shipping this one back. Like it's possible we could like go crazy with this card. So hopefully like that ends up working out. So I'm gonna try this hand. So
okay, this hand is, while not great, especially for this matchup, I don't really see a 6-card hand that is better than this. This hand's, while mediocre, it still has lands and spells that we can cast easily and defend ourselves. So, yeah, we should definitely keep this hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Be pretty aggressive to mulligan this hand. Steam Vents go.
All right, we'll play Scourge Deck High Priest. Your turn.
It's an interesting draw step. Yes. One thing that's really important to realize, that High Priest might look like nothing by itself, but next turn you can easily play a 1-drop and an Aristocrat, and boy howdy, it gets scary fast. I think we're just going to go ahead and burn this guy.
Alright, he has been burned.
And pass the turn. I don't know if that's necessarily right or not, but I think it is.
Draw. Alright, so our draws have been like pretty bad to go with our hand that wasn't like that exceptional in the first place. Here we can play like either of these two, and I want to just play this because I want to be able to protect this with this. So we'll play Scourge Deck High Priest and pass it back to you.
Draw. Alright, another not exciting draw. Because of what is probably coming next, we're not going to do this. We're just going to go ahead and play our Steam Vents tapped and pass the turn.
Go. Alright. I want to play a land on tap to both play around like Syncopate. I don't know if his list is playing it or not, but if it is, like, there's no reason to run into it. Also to hold open for this if that becomes relevant. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this and play Varls.
All right.
And we'll attack with the Skurzak High Priest.
All right. 19.
And I'm done after that.
Draw for our turn. Well then, not a whole bunch of great options for us. I think our best option is land pass and either do this or this on his turn, depending on what he does. This probably end up doing this turn, but we're going to go ahead and play our Sofa Falls and pass the turn.
Okay.
We're trying to wait for this to do this, but, you know.
Draw. All right, so we have a number of options here. I think we want to start by playing a Blood Artist. See if he responds to that.
No, I think we're still holding tight. That's fine. It resolves.
Okay. So now we have like the option to scavenge with Skurzak High Priest onto Varls, which is not great if he has Azorius Charm, but is like fine otherwise. Or we can scavenge onto the High Priest, which plays around Azorius Charm a little bit more, but is like a worse option overall. Or we can just not use the scavenge ability, which might be the best thing, and just like basically wait to see what happens. And that might be the best. So yeah, I think we're just going to attack with both of these and see what happens from there.
Okay. So we're still at a pretty high life total, and we see our path of victory, I think. I want to make sure he doesn't have Earls in play, that's for sure. I think it's best that we just do this, and then we can follow up with this really easily, no matter what he does. It's fine that, well, Azorius Charm Earls.
Alright, so yeah, that'll put Varls on top.
Alright, and we'll take 1 damage.
Alright, so you go to 18.
18.
I'll play this,
Yep.
and your turn.
Draw. Alright. You have how many cards? 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we can easily just do this and start going to town, racing them. So we're going to play a Thundermaw Hellkite. Tapped and attacking.
Alright, I got a 15.
Go ahead.
Alright, so we'll draw this Varls. We're definitely going to play the Varls.
Yep.
Now, let's see. I still think I want to wait on this until we have like a better target to scavenge onto. So I'm just going to attack for 1 here.
All right, 17.
And play a Temple Garden. It's your turn.
Draw. Oh, that's another pretty good draw step. We're going to attack for 5.
Our draw steps have been less than stellar.
Not even going to lie, we've had some good draw steps this game. Go ahead.
All right.
Our line is almost always going to be pass.
Draw. That one is fine. That's a okay draw. Like, I can see a situation where that ends up being good for us. So, I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Sorin.
Yep. Sorin resolves.
All right. I'm gonna make a vampire with him.
Okay.
And I'll just pass the turn.
Okay. So he's looking to make a 5/5 with his Varals. So we're gonna have to try to play around that. How can we do that? Is it 10, 17? I think we have to kill the Skirkdad High Priest now. I'll still leave him with a 5/5, but we can get around that, I believe. So we'll play Snapcaster.
Okay.
And target turn burn.
Okay.
And deal 2 damage to your High Priest.
Okay. In response to that, so the reason we never cast this earlier was like we wanted to set it for a situation like this. So, in response to that, we're going to. Now, we either have the option of sacking the Blood Artist or the Vampire token, and I think we want to just sacrifice the Vampire token because I think the Blood Artist will be more important in this game. So, in response, we'll sacrifice the Vampire to Varls and drain you with Blood Artist. So you go to 16, I go to 11.
Yep.
And then I will create a 5/5 demon.
Right. Which I think we have.
Create a demon, and then I will, now that Morbid is triggered, I'll Tragic Slip the Thundermaw Hellkite.
Okay.
And drain again with Blood Artist. So it goes to 15 to 12. Alright, then the burn is going to resolve.
Sure.
Drain you again, so 13 to 14.
Yep.
And it is your turn after that.
That did not work out the best in our favor.
So like we wanted to we could have Tragic Slipped his Thundermaw like a couple turns earlier, but I wanted to try to save it for a scenario where we could activate our High Priest, and I also didn't want to run into a Restoration Angel when we try to do it. So like there when he tapped out was like the opportunity we needed to both like make a demon and kill his guy. So.
All right. Well. This turn. I think our only option is to do this. I mean, we could try to get greedy and do this first, but I don't really like that when we're already a little bit, pretty far behind. He has a 5/5 rolls and that Blood Artist going. So, plus the Soaring, I think we just need to handle that. So we're gonna Warleader Helix your Soaring. And gain 4 life.
Okay.
So go up to 18.
Yep.
And then we'll have to pass the turn back, knowing that we're probably going to take some damage this turn.
Alright, so draw. I like that draw step. We're gonna go ahead and play the. We're gonna play Voice of Resurgence.
Yeah. That's another good
And.
one.
So now that we have a demon that he's gonna want to Azorius Charm, and he's already used one, I think now is the time for us to scavenge on Varls and start to put a pressure on that way. I don't want to scavenge on the demon token because it just gets blown up by an Azorius Charm. But if I scavenge on the Varls, if he like Azorius Charms the Varls, then we still have the demon. So I'm going to go ahead and double scavenge these High Priests onto Varls.
Okay.
And now I will attack with these two tokens. These two.
Alright. Let's see. Yeah, none of this looks very good for us. The blocks aren't good. We're gonna have to do this next turn. We just have to take 9.
Okay, so you go to 9?
And you go to 9.
Your turn.
Draw. Alright. Definitely a start. I don't know. Yeah. So we attack for 2, which we're not playing defense with this thing.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for us to block here. If we block, we're not playing around Supreme Verdicts, and basically like the 2 points don't matter that much because we have Blood Artists. So like there's no reason to throw away our Voice of Resurgence here. We want to keep it in elemental form to play around all his removal spells. So.
All right. I think that only leaves us with the option of this. We could do this first, again, giving us that option. We're going to have to go kind of low, but I think the first start is Pillar as Blood Artist.
Yep. So in response to that, we're going to sacrifice it to Varls to drain him. So.
I go to 8, you go to 12.
Yep. And put a Regeneration Shield on Varls.
Yep. I think we're just going to have to get very lucky in order to win this game. Doing that is not going to win me the game. Yep. Do this. What am I at? Yeah. All right, go ahead. I have no choice but to kind of pass the turn.
Okay. Let's go ahead and draw. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and send in with the team here. Actually, I don't know if I want to attack with the Voice. So he's at 8 right now. He definitely has something, or he wouldn't just pass like this. And I'm not sure whether to attack with the Voice or not. If we attack with the Voice... No, I think it's probably right to attack with everything. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to attack with everything here. One reason to hold Voice back is because it, like if he has a Restoration Angel, he can just eat it. But at the same time, if he has just one removal spell, like we want Voice in here so that we're like representing lethal damage. So.
Okay.
Send the team.
Well, we have to play a couple spells. So
All right.
Snapcaster.
All right, so I'll make an elemental for him casting a spell on our turn.
Yep. If he didn't have the Gavany Township, I think last turn it was easy Snapcaster, Pillar, Voice, but because of that, I have to Azorius Charm this demon token back to the top.
All right, so we'll make another elemental token. And then we're gonna go ahead and sacrifice the demon to Varls. It doesn't really matter, but It's always a good habit to like put the regeneration shield on like that.
Yep. Now, as far as blocking goes, I think we gotta try to kill Voice of Resurgence, so we'll block Voice of Resurgence since we're never killing brawls, and being at difference between being at 6 and 4 is negligible since he has a Gavany Township anyways.
So we have to activate Township here because like we want to keep our voice in elemental form as long as possible because we don't want to like get blown out by Supreme Verdict. We want to still have something left over. So we'll go ahead and activate Township to make our voice big enough to not die. And you'll take 5
and go to 3.
And then I'm just going to play this tapped Yurko.
Alright, draw. And we're dead. Yeah, we drew the white a little too late for the Supreme Verdict. So
yeah, and we would be able to have 2 guys left,
yep.
So.
Yeah, I probably should have cast Boros Reckoner on turn 3, but I slow rolled it to make sure like I didn't just 2-for-1 myself with my Supreme Verdict, and then I just never drew it.
Drew the white, yeah.
So there was a couple of turns where I was like, all right, this will be a turn where we could blow him out, but I don't actually have the second white.
This is the sideboarding plan I have. I'm gonna bring in 3 Deathrite Shamans to like counteract Snapcaster Mages, just be a source of damage that doesn't rely on attacking through Azorius Charm, etc. And then I have 2 Garriks. Garrick is just like a good threat. Like if we can stick a Garrick and have it not die, like we'll start churning out wolves every turn, which kind of counteracts a lot of the removal spells he plays. I also think Garrick gets much better post board because most lists play Is It Staticaster now, and Garrick is like a way to kill Staticaster without losing any value. And then Sin Collector just to strip like Supreme Verdicts or Sphinx's Revelations. Basically, like those are the 2 main cards I'm trying to get with Sin Collector. And then the cards I'm not boarding in are like Profit Loss, which really doesn't do anything, like doesn't stop Supreme Verdict, doesn't do anything like that. Appetite, which I could consider boarding this in against some decks like this because they'll play like, some versions play like Terminus and Aetherling and like a bunch of big stuff, but his list, like from what we saw like a couple Restos and like Supreme Verdict and like a Helix, but that's just not enough to warrant this card. It's probably going to be a brick like 50% of the time. And then Abrupt Decay, like I see here that he's bringing Rest in Peace, but a lot of the lists don't have Rest in Peace, and I wouldn't expect it from them, so I'm not going to bring in Abrupt Decay. But you know, if we see him play a Rest in Peace, like this is coming in because that card just wrecks our deck. But for now, we're not going to bring it in because like I'm going to board how I would board normally. As for what's the board out, like I think these are our worst cards against him. Basically, like Young Wolf just kind of is... Young Wolf's like only really good in combination with like these types of cards. And since like these are the cards we want to board out anyway, like I also don't want to keep the Young Wolves. And I think Blood Artist is a little worse than Skurzak High Priest. I think it's pretty close, but I ended up boarding out all the Blood Artists and keeping 3 High Priests so that maybe like sometimes we can just like get him with a High Priest like what happened in Game 2. So I'm gonna board out these 7 and bring in these 7, and then yeah, that may change based on what we see.
Okay. And as for me, I am since I'm bringing in Rest in Peace, I'm boarding out my Snapcasters, my Think Twices. We're boarding out 2 Dissipates since he's playing lots of 1s and 2s. Not very often we're going to actually have a chance to counter the spell we want to counter. It'll be too obvious or holding this up. So I could boarding out the 3 casting cost counter spells, pretty obvious. Like I said, Think Twice, pretty bad when you have Rest in Peace, same with Snapcaster. But the cards we're actually bringing in are very, very good for the matchup. Renounce the Guilds is insanely awesome. It kills basically all of his good creatures, Virals, Cartel Aristocrat, Voice of Resurgent, and Sorin. So it kills so many things. It does give him the option, but...
It even kills a flipped Garrick.
Even kills a flipped Garrick, that's true. When the Garrick flips, it's now multicolored. So he has the option to sack that when it's flipped. Not when it's not flipped, though.
True.
Is It Staticaster, very good against his Lingering Souls, Doom Traveler, all his 1 toughness guys. Also just, you know, a solid body since it blocks most of his guys. Pillar is insane against him. Exiling his cards is very good. And then since we're burning in the Rest in Peace, we can board in Supreme Verdict without any kind of real fear of him blood artisting us out or whatever.
Yeah, like if you have a Rest in Peace in play and cast Supreme Verdict, like it just gets all my guys.
Yeah, it just gets all of them except for alls.
Yeah, instead of me like untapping with like a Spirit, an Elemental, and a Barrels, it'd be like just a Barrels.
Yeah. And then the cards we're not actually going to board in. The second War Lady Helix, since I'm boarding one out, I obviously don't want them. We don't really want counter spells. Thunder Maws are kind of mediocre, and we don't need the clone. I'm fine with leaving the one Thunder Maw I have in my main deck to maybe get us some Lingering Souls tokens, but it's not something I really want to board in more of right in this matchup. I think we can safely keep this hand and just do this early, so we're going to keep this hand.
All right, this hand is like pretty good. Yeah, like it's nothing too like splashy about it, but yeah, this hand's just very solid, so I'm gonna keep it.
All right, Sacred Foundry, go.
Okay, draw. I will shock myself and play a Deathrite Shaman.
Okay.
Your turn.
18. Yep, just continue the plan. Sacred Foundry, go.
Good old all in on Sacred Foundry. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play a Cartel Aristocrats, and then we'll just bash in with the Deathrite Shaman.
19.
Your turn.
Alright. It's kind of an interesting draw, but I think we just need to go ahead and commit ourselves to the board and play a Reckoner.
Sure.
Say go.
Alright. Draw. Interesting. We have the option to play either of these, and I think I'm going to play this, actually, in case we draw another land like this. We can do two things next turn. So, we'll go ahead and shock ourselves down to 16, and I'm going to play a Sin Collector. And hopefully strip a Supreme Verdict or something of that nature. Alright. Or not. Alright, so we have a Reckoner, an Island, Essence Scatter, and two Sphinxes.
Even though he was able to resolve that, and now he knows about our Essence Scatter, I still think we needed to commit ourselves to the board. I can't really hold this up on just the fact that he's playing Sin Collector. So
basically, our only options here are either Essence Scatter or Sphinx's Revelation. If we take the Scatter, then we don't have to worry about it the rest of the game. However, like we've already played like a lot of creatures. Like I don't think we're really as worried about the Essence Scatter anymore. Like we're probably going to put this into play next turn, and then yeah, and then Sphinx's Revelation. Unfortunately, we can't like get both, but I still think it's worth taking one of them because with like the two Boros Reckoners, he's going to keep us from killing him like fairly well. So I just want a way to prevent him from just like outcarding us. So I'm going to take one of the Revelations.
all right.
And then there's no valuable attack here, so we're just going to pass the turn.
Alright.
Like I could sack a guy to Cartel to get in, but that just seems pretty mediocre. I'd rather wait. So.
Alright. Well, we're gonna attack for 3.
All right, I'll take it and go to 13.
13. With his life total being pretty low, we kind of want to just start the aggressive. This kind of puts him on a 2-turn clock. His big threat on 4 is Sorin anyways. If he does play a creature just to get around a Essence Scatter, he's probably not using his mana efficiently, so I think we're fine with that. So we're going to play Boros Reckoner in the island he knows about and pass the turn.
Okay, so let's go ahead and draw here. Yeah. So I think we want to play this and this, and then just get in for as much damage as we can. In order to facilitate that, Deathrite Shaman probably has to die. I think we're gonna, It's we either sacrifice Sin Collector or Deathrite Shaman, and I think it's Deathrite Shaman because I don't really see us using his abilities too much over the coming turns. Like, I think getting in for more damage this turn's more important. So I will play Varls,
Okay.
and I will sacrifice Deathrite Shaman to give this protection from blue,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will Tragic Slip your Untapped Reckoner, and then I'll go attack for 4. Down to 15.
Yep.
And it is your turn after that.
Okay. Draw. Alright, with him killing our second Reckoner, even if he had to sack his guy, it still makes us now the defensive. There's not a whole lot we can do this turn. I think we just need to pass the turn, so we're going to go ahead and say go.
Okay. Right. Draw. So I could play this, but we know he has an Essence Scatter, so I don't want to just jam it into an Essence Scatter. I don't want to sacrifice a creature just to push through Boros Reckoner for 1 hit. I don't think that's worth it. So I'm just going to play this Gavany Township and then pass the turn. And my plan is just going to be to Township a couple times and pull ourselves out that way. So.
Okay. My turn. Play a Glacial Fortress.
Right, so you draw a land, so he can now Sphinxes for
2.
which is better than
1.
Yep. 2, a little bit better than 1.
2, a tiny bit better than 1. Yeah, I think that's what we're just gonna have to say our plan is to pass the turn, kind of build up.
I'm gonna go ahead and activate Gavany Township at the end of your turn.
Yep.
Draw. I think we want to just basically do as much damage as we possibly can to him. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this. I'm going to scavenge Deathrite onto the Sin Collector.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack with everything. The goal here is to... All my creatures are bigger than Boros Reckoner, basically. Or can be bigger than Boros Reckoner.
Right.
If need be.
This is kind of interesting from our side of the board. We know he's going to Township when we block, so how do we use that to our advantage? Because obviously he's going to have to deal Boros Reckoner a decent amount of damage in order to actually kill it. We might actually be able to kill 1 or 2 things this turn. So I think our best block is actually on the Sin Collector. Is it? So that's 4, prevents 5, and then he'll probably sack it to save his other guy, since we don't want to just kill the Sin Collector. That's the worst of the creatures that we need to kill. We need to kill Varals most of all, since it scavenges and regenerates to our Supreme Verdicts if we can draw 1. So, block here, and then I can do the damage over here, sack that, regenerate. Alright, if that's the case, then what are we doing with this? We need to gonna Azurius Charm the Virals on top of his deck. Be 4 blockers.
I think we want to probably draw Varls again, so I'll go ahead and allow that to resolve.
Alright, so that goes on top. Block there.
Activate Cavity Township.
Alright, so I take 4, go to 11. Damage resolves, and I will deal the damage to Cartel Aristocrat.
So we have like a Sin Collector that's bigger than our Cartel Aristocrat right now. I don't know if it's... We have the option to either keep the Sin Collector or keep the Cartel. I'm not 100% sure which is correct. I know that the Sin Collector can kill in 2 hits. I guess the Cartel can as well. I guess if he has a removal spell, he can kill either of them. So, yeah, we're probably better off keeping like the big Cartel around. So I'll go ahead and let's see, red or white?
Probably red.
Yeah, I'll sack and give. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll sack and give. Well, actually, if he has a second Azorius Charm, he could still do it during the end of combat step. So I'll sack and give protection from white.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
I
could still just do that in response.
Yeah, I guess you could do it in response anyway, but.
Yep. All right, my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
All right. Draw. Well, we're gonna shock ourselves.
Alright, so he is probably going to be planning on
Go ahead.
Revelating for 3 here.
Yep.
I'm
at 9, he's at 13.
Yep. If that's the case, like I'm gonna go ahead and play Varls now. If he wants to Essence Scatter it, that prevents him from Revelating, and I'm okay with that. So.
It's kind of annoying. I need to Revelate here in order to win the game, but I can't really let him have that Virals either. How many cards do you have left?
2.
2. I take 4, I go to 5. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and Essence Scatter that.
Alright, so Varls gets countered. Go ahead and play a second Cartel Aristocrat.
Okay.
And attack in for 4.
Alright, I go to 5.
And I'll play this. Your turn.
Sure.
So now we're
Pillar.
protection from red.
Go ahead.
Alright, so now he's still going to be able to Revelate for 3, which would put him at 8, and we can only deal 5 with the Township activation, so we really need to draw some relevant stuff here. I'll attack for 4. I'll go in Township.
Alright, draw 3 cards, gain 3 life. So I go to 3 after damage, and draw 3 cards.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Alright, hopefully there are bricks. Your turn.
Draw. I'll play this land and I'll play tapped, and tap 3 for a Boros Reckoner.
Sure.
Pass the turn.
Alright. He's at 3, so assuming if he has nothing... Alright. That was a good draw there. We'll go ahead and cast Sorin, Lord of Innistrad.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and make a Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sideboard. And I'm going to sacrifice... I'm going to sacrifice the Vampire to give Cartel Aristocrat protection from white.
Okay.
Protection from white plays around Reckoner and Azorius Charm and Restoration Angel. And then I will attack you for 5. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I drew 3 lands.
Sweet. Okay. So he did draw bricks, which is the only way we're really winning that, since our hand was just this tragic slip. So.
Yeah, the only way I was in that game at all is if I drew a turn and burn, since I can turn and make it a 0-1 and then block with my
Well, it still has the counters on it.
Right, I know,
Yeah.
but then we can actually trade.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it still has the counters on it, but it can get rid of the protection and allow me to live. And we get an awesome hand, so we're gonna keep this one.
This hand's okay. I'm gonna keep it. It's not like great or terrible. It's just.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
This has everything we want for this matchup.
Go ahead.
Draw. I mean, we can safely just go ahead and throw out our rest in peace.
Yep.
Say go.
That's kind of annoying for us. Let's play Cartel Aristocrats.
Yep.
Go ahead.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cast Pillar of Flame on this thing.
Okay.
And exile it. And play a land and say go.
Alright, draw.
I don't think we really need to worry about doing this on his turn.
Guess we'll shock ourselves. And play Deathrite Shaman. And then play Cartel Aristocrats. Fortunately, Deathrite is a 1/2 for 1 with a Rest in Peace in play. But hopefully it's just a Protect Cartel from removal spell for 1.
It's doing pretty good at that job, actually. It's your turn.
Alright. Yep, that card is much worse with Rest in Peace in play, but I'm still going to cast it now anyway, just to, if he plays anything, we'll get an elemental out of it. So.
I might respond to that.
Okay, so we'll cast Voice.
So are we worried about Voice at all? Hand is telling me not really. Show, yes, that resolves.
Okay, in that case, I will attack for 3.
Alright, 17.
And I will play Temple Garden. Your turn.
Okay.
So, like, a Supreme Verdict's, like, really good against us here, but I don't think we have the luxury of playing around it. Like, with the Rest in Peace in play, like, the only way we're winning is if he just doesn't have anything. So, we just have to, just play our cards and hope that works out.
Right. I'll play an Izzet Staticaster.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Alright. Thankfully, our creatures are all big enough to not die to it. Draw.
We're just kind of looking to live at this point, so casting a Staticaster as a blocker is fine. We don't want to cast on his turn because of Resurgence.
Go ahead and play a Skurzak High Priest, or Squire, as he's known in the biz.
Squire.
Yeah. And then I will attack on in.
We'll block the Cartel Aristocrat and take our 3 damage.
Alright, so you got a 14. So the question now is whether to play this or not. I mean, I don't think we're ever dealing with. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're beating a Supreme Verdict if you cast another guy.
Yeah, well, I'm not beating it even if I don't cast a guy, I don't think, so.
That's probably true.
Well,
I mean, you actually have a clock in play at this point. 4 damage is something.
Mm-hmm. Basically, this is not good against Staticaster, but at the same time, it does provide us with some fodder. It's probably best to just hold off, so I'm just going to play this and say go.
Right.
That may be a mistake, but we'll see.
So we could just do that, but I think what we're going to do is just rev for 3 and give ourselves some more options.
All right.
17.
Unfortunate for us.
And that's going to pass my turn.
Okay. Something like Gavney Township would be amazing. Nope. The Revelations Exile, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Love to eat it with Death Right, Sean. Unfortunately, I cannot.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, we'll just send on in the team here.
Hiya! I'll block.
All right, take 4 down to 13.
Yep.
I think at this point, since we have this, I'm okay just passing the turn again. So hopefully. Man, this hand would have been so awesome without that rest in peace.
Man, rest in peace is real good right now.
Yeah, it is.
Sacred Foundry. What am I doing? I don't know.
Like, if I had one word to describe this hand without that rest in peace, it'd probably be dirty. This hand would be doing some
dirty things. Yeah, I can see the Skirk Dead High Priest voice and Cartel Aristocrat all in play.
Thundermaw. Okay.
Thundermaw, not doing much, but he's doing something, I guess. Attack for 5.
All right, 13-0.
He basically can't kill this thing except for maybe with an Orzhov charm. So I think it's okay for us to just get rowdy and attack.
I probably use Orzhov Charm to return a 1 creature from my graveyard to my hand.
And then we'll pillar this Voice of Resurgence.
I will sack to give a pro red.
Sure.
So.
And that'll be our turn.
Fortunately, we do not get an elemental because of Rest in Peace, but it is what it is. All right, that card might do some things sometimes.
Fortunately for us, our Sphinx's Revelations have not been very good.
So, I think we're still just... I can cast both of these, which might be the right play. It's either this or both of these. And I think I like both of these a little bit better. Well, like I want to have a way to block Thundermaw Hellkite, I think. But I can actually wait a turn on that, so maybe that's wrong. But I don't want to just like play these out one at a time because then his like Staticaster gets to do a lot of work. So I think it's either like I'm playing both now or I'm like playing just this and passing the turn. So it's probably better to play both of these now. So play Lingering Souls.
Okay.
Get 2 spirits.
Okay.
Play another Lingering Souls.
It just kills all of them, you know that, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll go to attacks.
Yeah, attack's fine.
I will send in for this.
All right. I'll block and then ping off one of your tokens.
I'll sack that token.
Sure. So I take 2?
Yep.
Go to 11.
And I could have sacked a token pre-combat to get Cartel through for like 1 more point, but I'd rather... that would cost me to have 1 less spirit, and I think I'd rather have the extra spirit.
I agree.
Your turn.
All right. So we draw.
I think I still... Well, yeah. Oh, wait, this is... I forgot to put that in my graveyard.
Okay. You're like, how did I get this?
I was like, wow, I drew another Lingering Souls.
Play our Hallowed Fountain into play tapped. I think we have to just pass the turn here, because eating one of his spirit tokens and then taking a bunch of damage next turn doesn't seem good for us. So go ahead.
Okay. Let's draw. That's a good draw. That's a very good draw, actually. We're at 11 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sworn Lord of Innistrad.
It's a good magic card.
It's a decent at best Magic the Gathering card. I think we're just gonna make an emblem here.
Okay.
And we're gonna try to just kill him as quickly as we can through Staticaster taking down our team. So yeah, we have a
Emblem.
old Sorin emblem. So the question here is like, I think we want to just send the team. We're gonna lose a couple of guys, but yeah, I just want to get in for as much as I can. Let's see, he blocks and shoots. So yeah, we'll send the team in here. Try to kill you as quickly as possible. Dude, Skir's like High Priest just upgraded from a Squire to a Glory Seeker.
Man, this turn is really aggravating because I don't want to give you a free. Well, I guess I have to just block and block. Do I want to eat the? Yeah, because you're gonna sack whatever creature I ping anyway. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go to 4, so I'm not dead the following turn, and I get to at least kill one of your guys. I guess I'll kill that, and before damage, try to ping off a token.
All right, I'll sack the token that you're targeting to give protection from red. And then I'll then sack Deathrite to give protection from. Well, yeah, I'll give protection from white.
Okay.
So then you're gonna take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Go to 4.
Go to 4.
And it's your turn after that.
Alright, draw. Alright, that was a really good draw step. So now, whole reason we haven't cast this spell the whole game. I guess we have to still do it this way though, because then he still gets to kill that. Yep. So play. We have to do this. This unfortunately kills our own thing. Can't really. I mean, we can let him just have that. So that way we don't. That way we don't die. It's fine to like let Sorin live because if he just makes another dude, I can kill it the next turn, and the dude is irrelevant because I have Staticaster.
Yep.
And being a 4 life, I want to be able to make sure I live this turn because if I live, I should be able to win the game. So it's your turn.
Okay. Draw. Oof, that's also a good one. All right. Interesting. Start by making a vampire.
Okay. It's a good place to start.
Now I have to decide how I want to do this here. I think we begin by just attacking with everything. If he has nothing, he just dies. Well, first I think let's see. Yeah, if he has nothing, he would die. We have to sack the vampire to get Cartel Pro first.
Then I can still block here, and ping this one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could still do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not dead that way.
Yeah, that's true. In that case, let's see. Maybe our best bet is to just send just the Cartel Aristocrat.
That doesn't seem bad.
Yeah, I'll sack to give protection from red.
Mm-hmm.
Protection from Thundermaw and Staticaster there. And then I will... see, you have 3 cards?
3 cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send just the Cartel Aristocrat then.
Okay. Yeah, I go to 1.
Alright, so you're at 1. I think second main we're just going to play this and try to kill that. Is it Staticaster if we can. I'll play Garrick Relentless.
Yeah, I guess that resolves.
I'll attempt to fight the Staticaster.
Respond by pinging off one of these tokens here.
I'll respond by giving protection from white.
Okay.
And we'll pass the turn after that.
I'll Sphinx for 6.
That was brutal. Yep.
7.
Alright, yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's probably the worst card we could have seen
1,
there.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That's why I said it was a real good draw step. Really good. Draw for our turn.
Yep.
A completely irrelevant land.
Did you brick 7 times?
Fair question to ask. Doubtful, but a fair question. No, I did
I think
not.
it's the only question.
I did not break 7 times.
I'll even take 5 or 6 points. Like, I'm not a greedy man here.
So Resto Blink.
Yeah. I'll sack to give pro something. I guess red. Yeah.
Okay.
In response to the Thundermaw trigger.
Sure. Yeah. How many cards? 1.
Yep.
So 2/2 wolves are like irrelevant. So we're gonna attack Sorin
Turn dies.
and then cast to renounce the guilds.
Yep. I'll sack the Cartel Aristocrat.
Yeah. And now we have the game pretty much locked up. So it's your turn.
And the 2/2 Scourge High Priest, I don't know if I would say locked up.
I mean, DOS Bears, not very scary.
I'll make a wolf.
Yeah.
Play Varls.
I will Essence Scatter Varls.
So his essence does not exist anymore. And I will pass the turn.
Right.
Yeah, we're probably not winning this, but I guess a miracle could happen. I don't even know what we could possibly draw, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Irrelevant land.
That land seems really good.
Very irrelevant land. Pillar, your 3/2. Attack Garrick, attack you.
Garrick flips.
He does flip and then dies.
I'll go to 8.
Go ahead.
I don't know. That's a pretty greedy attack when I'm threatening 2 points of damage. 3 points of damage. All right.
That's game.
Actually, yeah, 3 points. Yeah. Scourge Dag, man, upgrading from a squire to Garrick's chosen or whatever companion. Yeah.
That Deathrite Shaman was really, really good because I had to renounce the guilds and I just couldn't play it because I didn't want to just kill a Deathrite Shaman. So it's like, well, I'll just wait until I draw a Spring Verdict or something, wipe the board. Then when he plays an important multicolor permanent, I could just 1-for-1 it, and it just never got to that point until that very Sphinx for 6. There was even the turn where I drew the Sphinxes and I was like, oh, I can finally just kill this stupid Cartel Aristocrat after I attacked Sorin, and then I died to these spirit tokens because I had to sack my own as a Staticaster.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
Like, there's a period where I was thinking, I wonder if he's gonna try to renounce the guilds, and I'm just gonna sack this Sorin. I was wondering if that was something. All right, now that we saw Rest in Peace, or as I like to say, destroy target deck, we're gonna go ahead and bring on in these Abrupt Decays, and I think we're gonna side out those Squires in our deck.
Yeah.
I don't think we're planning on getting there with this guy. So There's another one of
Good
those.
old Squire.
Yep.
I've seen that in the top 8 of at least one Legacy Open sideboard. At least one. Good old Squire. Nothing beats that.
Except rock.
Except rock.
Yep. 5. Yeah, this hand looks perfectly acceptable to me.
I mean, I think it's an aggressive mulligan if I mulligan this hand. I'm fine with keeping this hand most of the time, so I'll keep.
Okay, I'll shock myself and play Deathray Shaman. Your turn.
Alright, 18. Hollow Fountain, go.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, we can hold open for Deathrite Shaman, but unless he plays a spell on his turn 2, it's not worth it, and he probably won't, so I think I'll just bash in. Get in some points while we can, and then I'll play a Doomed Traveler.
Yep.
Your turn.
Sacred Foundry tapped. Go ahead.
Alright. Draw. Yeah, same thing. Just gonna send for 2.
Alright, 17.
And play Lingering Souls.
Yep.
So we're playing a little aggressive against Supreme Verdict here, but we would still get a Spirit out of Doom Traveler, so I don't think it's that bad.
Draw. Land on a play tapped. Go ahead.
Alright. Him playing a tap land there means that we're not going to get Staticastered, which is a good thing. So, draw. He might have Azorius Charm, which may mean it's not right to attack with Deathrite, but I still just, I don't want to like miss out on a point playing around everything. So I'll go ahead and send in for 4 here. Or he may, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just put Deathrite on top.
Okay. Alright. So take 3 then.
Yep.
Go to 14. Alright, I'm going to shock myself to 16.
Yep.
And play my boy, Old G Relentless.
Old G.
And make a wolf with him.
Yep.
Your turn.
Sulphur Falls. Go ahead.
Probably has a Restoration Angel, but I still want to just like attack with everything here and put as much pressure on as I can. So we'll send on in the team.
Yeah, we'll play our Restoration Angel and block the wolf.
Okay, so you'll take 3.
Yep.
Go to 11. I have the option of killing Garrick to kill his Restoration Angel.
Yep.
Or I can play like Lingering Souls to try to keep Garrick alive.
Also, yep.
I don't know, it really depends, like, depends on what he has, basically. Fighting the Restoration Angel plays better if he, like, has, like, something like a Thundermaw, but the Lingering Souls plays better if he doesn't. I think both are bad if he has, is it Staticaster, so I think we're gonna just make a wolf, and probably flash this back. I'm choosing to flash this back because if he plays like a Rest in Peace, I want to get rid of everything in my yard first. So we'll flash that back, make a couple more spirits. And now I'm going to play Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
If he has Supreme Verdict, that's fine because I still get to keep Garrick. So
okay. Done.
Go. Yep. So hopefully we don't get destroyed this turn.
Play our land. 5, 4, 6, 5. How many cards do you have in hand? 1.
Yep. Un.
If I attack, he probably blocks. So I take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7, 8. I don't attack. And I mean, you can't really attack all that efficiently. I mean, you can sacrifice his wolf to deal me like 4 points of damage or 5 points of damage. Just make another wolf. It's real interesting. I think what we want to do is just attack a Garrick with our Restoration Angel.
Alright, I'll block with the spirit.
Right.
Try to keep that Garrick alive.
And then pass the turn.
Okay. Draw. I think we send with all this here. Let's see what comes. Yeah, second resto. Okay.
And we block the wolf.
Alright, taking 4.
Yep. 7.
So you go to 7. I think we would have seen a Staticaster if he has one. I don't really want to lose my Garrick just to kill his Restoration Angel, since I think we're just like ahead on board right now as is. And I'm fine like flooding the board, because if he does cast a Supreme Verdict, we still like get a Spirit out of Doom Traveler, and we still have a Garrick. So, and he has to blow both of his Restoration Angels for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play and flashback Lingering Souls.
Oh wow, getting aggro.
So yeah, we're all in here. Basically, like I don't think he has it. So hopefully he doesn't draw it. Is really the plan that we're on. And if he doesn't, I think we can probably just like end the game here pretty fast. So your turn.
Alright. Put this land into play tapped.
Okay.
Cast Renounce the Guilds.
In response to that, I'll eat your Azorius Charm.
Okay.
And then I'll sack the Deathrite. So you go to 5.
Yep. And pass the turn.
Alright.
Did you not activate your Garrick last turn?
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
That's kind of awkward.
Yeah. I'm supposed to make a wolf, but yeah, well, that could end up being annoyance. That sucks. Oh well. I'll play Cartel Aristocrat.
It's really, really good.
Good?
Yep, it's good.
Alright.
It's really good.
Yeah, it is really good, actually. Let's see. This is... Yeah, I'll send absolutely everything here. I don't think he has a way to beat this here, but...
I think that Cartel Aristocrat killed me. Yeah, I think Cartel Aristocrat just killed me. That sucks, because I was going to block and give lifelink.
Oh, yeah.
And prevent all the damage and then kill your Garrick and be fine the following turn, but I can't gain any life, and I'm at 5.
Yeah, I get to sack him.
Sack him. All right. Good
All
games.
right. Yeah, that's why
I had a Sphinx's Revelation the following turn. That's what I'm saying. Man, that Cartel Aristocrat was a really good draw.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Not making a wolf was a little loose, but like I didn't want to make it pre-combat in case you played like a Staticaster,
right.
so I can just like kill your Staticaster.
Sure.
But then I just like didn't even do it.
Didn't even do it at all. It took me till my main phase to be like, what happened to the Garrick? Where's the where's the token? Here to talk about some of the important cards for our matchup. Let's see. From your side, it was Cartel Aristocrat was huge.
Yeah,
card
absolutely.
is very, very good and important. On my side, what I want more of is Pillar of Flames and probably Supreme Verdicts if I can ever draw them. You know,
yeah,
they're really good. Rest in Peace is obviously really important in the matchup, and
yeah.
if it does become more popular, we're gonna. From your side, you're gonna want to board in more Abrupt Decays,
like
in general.
Like normally speaking, like I don't bring it in unless I see something like that. But like maybe moving forward, you just want to bring it in anyway and plan for like a rest in peace or like at the very worst like a Reckoner or a Staticaster or something. So maybe I'm cutting like Orzhov Charm or like some Tragic Slips or something for Abrupt Decays anyway.
Right. I guess after playing Game 4, we saw Thundermaw Hellkite was really powerful in this matchup. I probably should have boarded in the other two and not played Essence Scatter. I already knew the counterspells were pretty bad in this matchup, but I figured since Essence Scatter hit Cartel Aristocrat when I'm on the play and Viral's play or on the draw, I thought it would be fine, but I really needed a way to answer your Lingering Souls more than those creatures.
Yeah, and like one thing I want to say is like I mentioned in the deck tech that I thought Varels was the worst card in the deck, and I still stand by that. But he actually was pretty good in this matchup. Like I actually was pretty impressed with how he played out in this matchup, and I think like if a matchup like this becomes more prevalent, then it's worth like playing a third Varels or whatever, because like he actually was able to in some of the earlier games, like he actually kind of put you in a bad spot where. Like if you had a Azorius Charm, you were able to deal with him pretty easily. But if you didn't, he just took over the game. Like you couldn't verdict him, you couldn't kill him.
Right.
He got too big, or he like got to scavenge onto something that was not getting blocked or whatever.
Right. He was also really important on countering Turn and Burn. Even though I didn't really draw that card, other than I think it was early in Game 2 where I just used it as shock. But later in the game, if it has counters on it, I can't just turn and burn it to get rid of it, because that's one of my main ways to actually get rid of overalls. Is to get rid of the regeneration first, and then kill it with a burn or whatever.
Right, but like if it has two counters on it, it just becomes a 2/3.
Yeah, exactly.
It still survives.
Yeah. So the scavenge is actually pretty important in that aspect. Anything else we're missing out on?
Yeah, like I would say that like I think Blue White Red is like, even though I ended up like it was a close match, I ended up winning, and I think I was able to win the games that like you didn't have your blowout cards. Like
sure.
The game where you had like the Rest in Peace and the game where you had like the Supreme Verdict and stuff, I got crushed.
Right.
But like the games where you didn't draw those cards, I was able to kind of grind out a win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, but overall, I think like generally speaking, like you didn't. If you had like been able to draw more of your sideboard cards, like you probably would have beaten me like a couple more of those games. I think that this matchup's like in your favor a little bit, and I think moving forward, like I don't know how prevalent Blue White Red is right now, but if it like jumps up in popularity, like I probably want like Duresses to go with Sin Collector, or maybe even more Sin Collectors, maybe more Planeswalkers. Like I think Sorin and Garruk are both like pretty good against you.
Another card that was really important, I felt, for the whole matchup was Gavany Township. It felt like any time you drew a Gavany Township, the game got out of control. You could easily just slow roll your threats and win the game with whatever you had on board.
Agree with that. So maybe like even a third Township would be something too. Like
yeah.
And even like if in a matchup like that goes grindy like this, like I don't mind having a 25th land either.
Right.
Like if I'm flooding out on Townships, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think moving forward, I probably want more like a third Rest in Peace in my sideboard, and probably even like a third Snapcaster or a third Staticaster. If this matchup becomes more prevalent, those are two very important cards for this matchup. So those are things I would want more of, and probably less counter spells. Even though they're pretty good against most of the other decks, I don't think they're very good in this matchup.
Yeah, like I think this is one of the matchups where they're not good. Like, I mean, you can count like I guess the thing is like something that like dissipates like a little slow, costing 3.
You're right.
But Essence Scatter doesn't hit like Garruk or Sorin or
Right.
Lingering Souls, so like
it does stop like Sin Collector and Cartel Aristocrat, Virals, and yeah, I guess that's really the big 3 creatures that I need to counter with Essence Scatter. So maybe Dissipate is even better than Essence Scatter in that sense, even though it's 1 more mana. But it does exile, which is really, really important, and it can hit the Planeswalkers, which are huge threats.
I think like
control.
it might come down to whether you're on the play or the draw too, because like if I go turn 2 Voice of Resurgence on the play, then your counter spells are just really bad.
Exactly.
So that's
another thing. That's why Pillar is so important, and why what was the other card I was talking about? Pillar and Rest in Peace are both really important.
Just to make Voice like a non-issue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Otherwise, like we didn't really see Voice like really take over any games here, but it definitely can.
Yeah, it can definitely take over against any of the control decks, especially Esper, where they don't have Pillar. They have like Far Away and Devour Flesh. Like both, they're trying to play solely on your turn, so it's harder for them to deal with a Voice. But my deck has a couple answers to it, so it's like not as bad.
Yeah, you can just like main phase. You like even like main phase a thing like if you need to. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So, but like you said, I think I'm slightly favored in this matchup, but we can see where you could still grind out wins solely by watching the video.
Pretty much, yeah. If I can dodge your hateful cards, then my deck's definitely like favored to win.
Right.
So it just comes down to whether I have the answers or I dodge them.
Right.
So and like I end up being able to like be fortunate enough to do that here. So.
Yep. Right.
But overall, I thought it was a good match.
Yep.
Pretty informative.
Yep.
So.
I think we learned a couple things, both of us, and hopefully the viewers did too.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.